Well, game two's ready. Let's go into picks and bans. Can Hungry for More find a win here, or Panthera continue destroying Europe?
Fred's in a bad spot. That's going to be a 2 for 0 so far as Dimi comes in with a huge ultimate, stunning 2 and killing 1.
Emilitoo was looking for the kill there. Oh,
This guy's not human.
focus onto Lobster instead. He's trying to get the
No!
ball, but that
No!
Picks and bans will be ready in a moment for you. Predictions, Adonis.
I expect the Nemesis and Tier to be banned away again. I think those are really smart target bans coming out of Panthera. I don't think there's anything that you necessarily want to ban if you're hungry for more. They banned the Rysian and who was the other one?
Capri, I believe.
The Capri. So, I mean, the Capri maybe not needed.
Well, I mean, you don't really want to give it too much to them. We'll be picking some bans in a second, guys. But I mean, with the way that has gone during the picks and bans, I want to see some more backline peel if they're going to run the Zeus again.
I mean,
Sobek's not enough.
yeah, I think there wasn't a single individual that was the problem on HFM. It was their team fighting as a whole and their composition. They had the Lightning Storm, they had the Fear No Evil, really great combination when it comes to team fights. So that's why Panthera really struggled at closing out after they had won massively the first fight, whereas other teams, they would typically just steamroll over. But it's just PrettyPriMe. And it was his positioning a little bit too, right? Prime needs to position himself a little bit better. But, I mean, that was just a massive mistake in that first engagement where they tried to focus out the Bacchus, who has Chug and Shell.
Yeah, and it didn't work out for them. They left him alone, and Dimi walks in and picks up PrettyPriMe as well. So if they go for the Zeus again, I think CaptainTwig's on Batz was very good that game, even though it didn't look like it.
He was aggressive.
His Fino, he was a little not dead on the center, but he was always looking for Emilitoo. He did find him towards the end of the game as well, which was an important one. But trying to pick him off every single time, take him out the fight was a good call.
I think a little bit of more anti-healing would have been good there, potentially a beat stick. We saw Twig go more to the defensive route, right? Obviously, Jotun's is good because you have the cooldown, but beat stick is outputting a little bit more damage there with the bonus penetration, as well as having, you know, that anti-healing 40%. And Batz has obviously Fear No Evil is one of the best abilities to put on a team when it comes to anti-healing. It's hitting so many members as well as overhand smash being so wide.
So, question for you as we're waiting for the picks and bans. 14 to 11 is 100 for more right now. Are they your third seed for EU?
Right now.
Do you think they should be the one that goes?
Like, I think right now they're playing like a top 3 team in Europe, right? Right behind Panthera and Paradigm. They are the ones that at this moment deserve to go, not only for recent performances, but I think you could tell like how much they've grown as well. They definitely deserve this spot. It's not theirs guaranteed, but it is pretty likely right now as we close out. We will have Paradigm taking on Dignitas later today after this matchup, actually.
I'm talking about Dignitas. Like, Dignitas, they're in a rough situation right now.
I mean, if they lose both games, they are out of DreamHack contention. If they lose both games, they are out because they only have 2 more games that is possible for them to match HFM and Paradigm's 14 wins. So they've got a win-or-go-home scenario.
Well, the good news for them is Paradigm and Dignitas, they did split last time round when they faced off against each other. So if you're a Dignitas fan, you're not out of it just
You got a little bit of hope.
But you have to rely on other results by the looks of way things
not having your destiny in your own hands is always the scary. It's always the hardest, especially knowing if it's unlikely, right? You need like some of these top teams to drop games. It's like, man, that's not going to happen, and it's very demoralizing sometimes. So it's going to be pretty critical there for Dignitas to come in and have a very fiery game.
I'm talking about top teams dropping games that we definitely hoping Panthera do not drop this next game that's coming up. Still waiting on picks and bans, guys. It won't be too much longer. But Panthera, they've not really dropped much all season. 20-2, world champions, no roster changes. Pretty much kept to what they've been doing.
Here's the thing, though, for not only Europe but the world is I think all of the individual skill level has the gap has closed. I think, you know, the first season or even season 0 and season 1, you could just get, you know, the 4 to 5 best players in the game and you could be the best team or at least compete at the top 3 level. Now it's not the case, and I think the biggest point to that is envy, right? You look at the squad, you look at all the roster changes they've gone through. They have star players. Omega, one of the best solo laners ever. Cyclone, one of the best players in the world ever. Kiki's always been solid, although, you know, fans, you know, aren't exactly sure where he stands. I think he's a good role player. Well, Stealth was on that squad.
Omega
Snoopy and Ionic back in the duo lane.
Omega said he was probably the best mechanical player he's ever seen.
I mean, and that's big coming from Omega because he doesn't give praises to many people. It's very hard. He even praised Weekend a little bit. He kind of joked too. But that's saying, right, you can't just bring the best players in the world or some of the best in the role and expect to just immediately win. It's coming down to teamwork, shot calling, and the intelligence when it comes to picks and bans and how to move your players across the map and how everyone's going to have a certain role as well.
communication is very, very important in that. And that's why Panthera works so well together, because they seem to just find the synergy.
They're the best
in
of both
everything.
worlds.
They all communicate very well to what they need to say and not too much information over the top as well.
I'll be really interested to see DreamHack because they're guaranteed. Soar's guaranteed right now. We've got a couple international teams that are coming out as well. So seeing these teams compete, this is not going to.
Who's coming through from DreamHack? Which other regions are we seeing?
We're seeing one from China. We're seeing one from LATAM. We're seeing one from Brazil as well. And then 3, obviously, from North America and Europe. Yeah. So 9 teams. LATAM and Brazil will be playing a preliminary match. The winner will go into the 18 bracket from there.
Guys, we've got a bit of a technical issue with the picks and bans. We're going to go to a very short break while we get this sorted out. However, just so you know, I'm going to blame iRaffer. It's all his fault. He's probably, doing something stupid.
Let's just ban him again.
Yeah, why not? It'll work out for him. They'll win worlds again. Be right back after this very short break. Apologies for the issues. Okay, welcome back for Game 2 between Panthera and Hungry for More. Apologies for the technical issues. We're having issues with our usual pretty picks and bans screen. So instead of wasting your time any longer of waiting, we're just going to go straight into the game. We'll get you the picks and bans later on if you need them. But you'll see the picks because we'll be in game anyway.
No bans, though. It's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Into game here, looking at the rosters. Panthera.
Oh, there's your bans. Look at that.
Oh, okay. So we've got Nemesis here banned out, and then it was a Wheelish in the 3rd spot. We don't have the 4th spot. And
I'm going to say the 4th spot is Nox in one and Loki in the other.
So Hunger for More actually banned away the Zeus this time. They stayed with the... Stop. It didn't register with me at first.
I know
they stayed with the Raijin and Kepri, and then they banned away their own Zeus this time as PrettyPriMe is on Raw.
I've seen PrettyPriMe do this a couple of times. There's a few players that are doing it where they're rushing towards the Book of Tough start here for the extra damage and the extra mana. The problem is, though, is you have no potions. And against the enemy team, you've got to be very careful of that, especially if you get hit by a portal, unstable vortex, overhand smash.
And positioning going to be critical here for PrettyPriMe. You could see a little bit better peel coming out for HFM this time. They've got an Odin in the soul line, so I'm assuming that was picked up so they could draft this Raw. CaptainTwig on the Thor, while he's going to be able to be aggressive. Also, many options to be defensive. And then MANALIKE, even if he doesn't bounce or protect PrettyPriMe, Intoxicate, it just makes it so hard for people.
Definitely didn't see picks and ban order, but I know for a fact Guan was probably locked in first by Panthera here.
Again.
And in response, they picked up the Odin, and that set them up for potentially having the Raw as well.
Probably Odin Thor, right? Drafting Odin and then keeping the Thor away.
Well, into game we go, and we're going to see his MANALIKE on Bacchus this time. iRaffer has gone to his good old Ares, where he loves the bolster defensives over damage with the Searing Pain. So the start of the game, pretty much stand a lot of wall coverage down from Panthera though on the left and right, and Harpies to keep an eye on things. This time round, though, both the junglers have gone speed into blue buff stars.
No one doing anything risky just yet. I think Yammyn has a purple pot, if I'm not mistaken, and he actually has not gone for the Soul Stone this time. He's gone, or he's elected to go into this Vampiric Shroud, so expecting to take a little bit of poke, I think because of the Thor, so he wants that extra health as well as the sustain.
Well, both junglers have stayed in the solo lane right now. A throwback to Season 1 a little bit there, watching them farm off for one wave, but they just want control so they can get the Fire Imps, and with the wave clear available from Hungry for More here, they will get control of them, and they'll be able to swing around potentially as well for these right-hand Harpies.
Yammyn trying to get one, and they got one. So a pretty important steal there. Variety was hanging around, threw a couple auto attacks in.
And now he's going to be able to soak mid-wave with adapting. Both junglers are here. However, level 3 for CaptainTwig, so a bit of a lead as we tune into the duo lane, which we do see the Jing Bacchus combo up against Ares and emilitoo. And I want to know exactly how Ares is going to deal with Jing.
This is going to be interesting here. Left side, mid camps though. Oh, look at this. iRaffer rotating in from above here. Hopefully HFM have called
Hammers
this.
Down. And the chain connects. The somersault hits 2. The portal's good. The unstable vortex is not on the mark, and it will secure the kill. Panthera hitting every single ability.
It's just like Lobster said. When you face Panthera, you have to go in knowing that they are going to hit absolutely everything. And HFM, I think they know the area or knew the Ares rotation was coming in, but they still tried to steal it away. And now with the foothold and the momentum, they're going to be able to steal away these back right Harpies as well.
And not only that, Panthera recognized how much of a kill potential they had. They left the left-hand Harpies available, so they're going to be able to go back and pick them up anyway. Soak up mid experience, steal away the enemy jungle, then go back to the left and go,
You don't see that too often. You don't see that too often because basically Panthera, like you said, they knew that Hungry for More weren't going to be able to contest this. Why waste any time finishing off this Harpy when we could just rotate and steal buffs away instead?
And talk about waste, CaptainTwig did start with a power pot this game, and that has now been used with that death as well. So
Purification as well. We saw him use it to stop the souls. Variety is 5. I don't think he has kill potential on Dimi, but I mean...
Well, there.
He could get him low, and he thinks he has kill potential.
The minion wave will help him out a lot here, and that's why Dimi's in trouble now, because the minion wave is making the impact. Variety played that so well.
That was perfect.
So many people would have been like, what the hell was that cage? But he knew the minion wave was going to reach soon. And those archers early game, they do a ton.
Oh, gang coming out from Hunger for more here. CaptainTwig trying to find Adapting in the jungle. Adapting, going to be able to chase through the portals here, but here's Variety to help him out.
No ring available, but the body block was good as well as the slow.
Can we highlight Dimi real quick before he kills a minion? I want to see how close he was.
Dimi?
Okay. I was wondering if if he quickly had killed those minions, if he would have been able to get ult and get out.
But he'd used Assault already, so he had no wave clear to kill him. So it was kind of like, well, okay, I'm stuck. That was a really nice play from Variety, 1v1 in Dimi there early game. But
when's the last time we've seen Dimi get soloed?
There is somebody who's done it.
I know, because we thought about it, we're like, wow, we haven't seen this in forever.
I've seen it. It happened this season.
Yeah, I know.
I just
but like
remember
twice in like the past year, I think he's been soloed twice.
Demi's just off his game, man. We need Ducky back. Ducky
oh,
wouldn't
come
do
on, give
like
credit
that.
to Variety for that.
No, I will, but Ducky wouldn't have got soloed. Ducky's the man, man. He's the super sub.
I think Ducky has one of the higher KDAs right now because he's only played the 2
He's a hero. He's the European hero right now for the solo lane.
That kid, is he roster locked? I don't think he's roster locked.
He was not.
I'm really surprised that no one picked him up.
He's the Dark Knight of the solo lane in Europe. One day somebody's going to call on him. He's going to be like, Ducky, we need you now. And he'll turn up and play and destroy everybody. But Dimi,
the Dark Duck.
Credit, like you said, though, credit should go to. Yeah, was it Deathians that soloed him?
Maybe. That wow.
Oh, wow, that'd be crazy.
And
now
now
credit should go to Variety, though, in this lane. Like, to realize he had the opportunity against someone as world-class as everyone says he is in Dimi, he put a lot of pressure on. But now Dimi, well, when Dimi gets soloed, he doesn't stay soloed for long, for the most part. He will turn.
You know that Twitter, did Dimi solo them? Is there... Did Dimi get soloed, right? Where's that Twitter?
It's probably not got many tweets, I'll tell you that much.
It's got 2 in the past year.
Well, left harpies are spawning again, and this time Panthera looking to set something a bit mid.
They're looking for Raffer here.
I'm saying Panthera looking for it. Yeah, Raffer's in trouble. Dunk misses, though!
Twig.
And immediately bolster defense and Shell comes out.
Oh, and the cripple as well.
Twig's in trouble. He's going to use the no escape, and purification is used by Twig, but now it's going to be MANALIKE in trouble because Adapting's coming around the back. Comedy of errors for Hungry for More, unfortunately, which now puts Panthera on a power play.
And now Hungry for More, barely able to get up with the rotation from Ataraxia. It's good trying to find the last solo to Adapting, but he's going to be able to jump away. And full credit to iRaffer there, just body blocking everything.
The ring is here, and Variety's trying to punish Raffer. Finally, he will. Ataraxia gets the kill.
Dimi to the back.
He's here from Dimi. They're going to zone them away. And only Variety's on the front, but on Odin, he should be tanky enough to weather this one. He will escape.
Just barely over the wall. Somehow, there was a single kill in that fight, and it was on to iRaffer. Not something we had expected, and Hunger for More somehow fight off Panthera's assault. Ataraxia with that beautiful rotation, but I mean iRaffer, he set him up. He set himself up to die, but he was able to successfully body block and keep his other team.
It was a crazy fight because Hungry for More initiate, they completely Twig misses everything basically.
Yeah.
Raffer then reinitiates and puts the pressure on them, forces Bacchus into an awkward position.
Forces purification, which then you could see it was Adapting, had the Fear No Evil as well.
Highlight of that play for me was Variety just going walks all the way over and just drops a ring and they get a kill. So go for though, started up by Hungry for More here. This is a good opportunity, but Adapting hasn't recognized this yet, and I think they caught Panthera napping here, going back to base. And a nice little play from Hungry for More. One of the best signs of a good team is the early goal furies.
I mean, it happened in reverse in game 1 where Panthera were able to sneak it away from Hungry for More. This time, Hungry for More right back in it. Hungry for More are looking so good this set, right? Even though game 1 they lost, it was just a couple mistakes that Panthera were able to abuse.
Flop down from MANALIKE there, so it just means they're going to back away. Panthera,
I'm surprised.
There's some potential chains coming up from Raffer.
I mean, that was Raffer. I guess he wasn't in range there, just barely. He had his ultimate.
Look at his rotation
still down.
We've got emilitoo and Raffer going mid lane here, looking for some poke pressure onto Twig, who just going to disengage immediately. Ricochet, not going to find it, but emilitoo threw it out anyway. You miss all the ones you don't hit.
That's true. And Variety here going to be pressured into his tower.
Yeah, pressure.
You think you're funny?
I was funny because you don't listen sometimes.
I got it.
You don't listen sometimes. I'm just like throwing them at you just to see what you say. Raffer looking at the red buff, going to get flopped on immediately. But no further engaged than that as well. Shell was used again, though, from Raffer. He keeps using the Shell and bolster defensive, immediately worried about the full engage.
And
so MANALIKE keeps winning those trades for me.
Overall. And Hunger for More have a slight lead as well. It's about 200 gold. And a little bit of that off of Variety's first blood.
And immediately you're going to see Adapting under pressure. Twig wants the kill. Twig's going for the kill.
He can't miss it this time.
His team might be calling him to back off, though, because there's a lot of people waiting. Raffer is just on his face like, go on, go for it.
Playing it safe.
I'll chain him straight away. He'll disengage, but now it's hungry for more, looking at Dimi, and Dimi gets on the horse, but the horse is trapped in the pen. Where you gonna go, Dimi? He's surrounded. He's got no support at the moment, and he will fall to Prime.
Really well played there by Hungry for More. CaptainTwig realizes he doesn't want to take the risk of diving, adapting under the tower. It's simply not worth it. Instead, he looks around, sees Dimi alone up at his blue buff, and then quickly turns his attention and finds the kill.
And now they're looking to try and invade the blue buff, but they might get punished for this, as CaptainTwig doesn't have an escape, and Variety's under pressure here. Out of mana is the big talking point there. Twig, though, has to use Purification away from the no escape. Panthera split their opportunity to pick one of those targets, and in the end get 0.
And Hungry for More putting a little bit of pressure onto that mid lane tower. However, Yammyn able to rotate back in time, but HFM right now with a slight lead, 400 gold, and Variety 1-0 and 2 is playing really well. Really well on this Odin.
That last ring we just saw from the cavalry charge,
yes,
that was
perfectly
millimeter off being wrong, and he got it exactly right.
And if he had waited for Dimi to like hold the ult, right? If he just did it early, they might not have had the damage to lock Dimi down before the cage dropped, and he had been able, to ult away.
Well, Hunters we've not really seen too much of. We've seen a couple of rotations coming out from emilitoo so far, but it will be a farm fest in this lane for the most part. Ataraxia won't be interested in fighting, especially on Jing. If he takes any poke, he'll just go back to base and then come back again with full health.
And now heading into the 9th minute, Gold Tier going to be stunning here. In about 2 more minutes, we'll see if Hunger for More try and make another look at that. They do have a really strong secure in Raw's ultimate. That's one thing that we see teams try and force. If they have that really burst mage, they'll go for it. You see a lot from Isis's primarily. But, some gods like Raw and Poseidon can be useful as well.
I love the stylistic itemization from these two junglers here. It just shows there's a little bit of variety in the jungle right now. Obviously, he's Odin, but that's not the case.
No, they're opposite gods and still going the same builds
That's the big key. Void Shield versus Jotuns. Adapting likes this Jotuns more than the Void Shield. Meanwhile, Twig always seems to go for the more defensive option.
I mean, that just gets him out of trouble. You could see... mechanically, Twig is not as strong as adapting. Very few players in the world are
I'd
even
like to see them
close to him.
1v1. I'd like to see them joust.
That's
adapting
true.
versus Twig joust would be interesting.
That's interesting.
I can't sit there and say adapting is mechanically more gifted than Twig.
I mean, when it comes to Twig and Joust, I'm not betting against him ever in my life. There is zero... I will never bet against Twig when it comes to Joust.
He'd be Devios as Hebo.
Versus Fenrir.
Versus Fenrir.
He had one of the worst matchups in Smite and beat him.
Well, Variety
here
is trying to support his team now as they're securing the speed buff. They will secure it for Twig, and Variety keeping iRaffer and Dimi busy enough and actually get through space and time. But in the jungle, emilitoo versus Ataraxia is going on, and Ataraxia's in trouble. The Sun's going to zone in one way as Yammyn's coming round. But unfortunately, those Suns were just not perfectly placed and allow Ataraxia just to walk away.
And because 2 on the left-hand side for Panthera, you can see Hunger for More have the numbers advantage. MANALIKE trying to secure those mid-harpies. I think he got them jumping over the chains of iRaffer, and HFM starting to look to be aggressive here in the mid lane. They've got 3 strong up against Panthera's 3 here.
Looking comfortable at the moment. Double tap does help to adapt into a little bit of pro pressure there. Speed buff is coming up, and Hungry for More love trying to invade the speed. They're one of the teams this season that have really tried to abuse the jungle more.
I mean, who invades Panthera, right? No one would ever think to invade Panthera, but Hunger for More, they're not scared at all. They're going to see Dimi here in the jungle. The stun does connect here. MANALIKE not using his knock-up, though. Doesn't want to risk using his escape before this fight breaks out.
And I think what they're trying to do there more than not is try and force Dimi's ultimate early.
We saw that a lot last game as well.
Well, Gold Fury is available in a moment. If they get the ultimate for free, then it's Gold Fury time with Guan ult down.
And now, adapting here. Going to get double tapped once again.
Nice poke.
And the poke has been very important because, I mean, if HFM go into a poke war, they're going to win. With PrettyPrime's heal.
The Gold Fury is available right now. They could swing around for it, knowing Adaptation has to go back to base.
And that's exactly what they're doing.
They're going to go straight for it. In mid lane, though, MANALIKE's a little bit late, but he's going to be on zone duty. emilitoo, the first to find this out. Suns are not available for him for another 15 seconds. He was looking for Twig, but the ricochet triple shot him. Oh my goodness, if that was an actual hit.
Dimi from behind.
He was dead, but Dimi's back in the fight.
Dimi from behind, and no one from HFM know it. Now they're going to realize it, and here comes adapting. The Fear No Evil forces the purification right before the pull from iRaffer.
And now Adaption's going to pick up PrettyPriMe, and now we can see MANALIKE get picked up onto Yammyn at least, but he'll take a tumble to Adaption, who gets a double kill. 4 members of Panthera are strong. Variety and CaptainTwig are the only 2 here to defend Ataraxia. He'll be back in a minute, but he's going to be very slow.
No ults for either team right now here. HFM don't want to give this up for free. You can see Variety, he's ready to jump in, but Panthera just reset the Gold Fury here very shortly. They don't want him to jump in when he gets close.
They're looking for kills. They're shredding Variety's protection. Variety goes in with the dunk. The damage is good. Panthera get the Gold Fury. But can they win the fight? Ataraxia is still going in deep looking for iRaffer, ignoring the rest of the opposition. emilitoo giving him chase now as CaptainTwig will pick up iRaffer because he's not going to get any more support for now. Ataraxia left alone by his team as they try and run away. Twig is slowly going to pick up that kill on iRaffer though.
HFM though, they tried, but Panthera secured the second Gold Fury. Despite being down in kills, still about 2,000 gold ahead. And am I crazy? Did the explosive bolts get stopped by the wall?
I'm not sure about that one. What I did see though is emilitoo missed his ricochet and hit the triple shot of the ricochet, came off the wall and connected with Twig and took 50% of his health down to 25%. And that's why they started to lose a fight, because Twig had to get out of that game. He had to ult and disengage. He couldn't go back in. And immediately from there, Panthera were like, we can go now. And it was all down to that one ricochet.
It was calculated. He didn't miss. You said he missed. He calculated that.
It's
an emilitoo, man.
He missed.
I mean, still, though, that's what we were talking about just before, how important poke wars are. We saw Adapting get poked to about half health, and then immediately Hungry for More force that Gold Fury. But then Twig gets hit even harder. And although he has the raw, Panthera had already pulled the trigger. There's no time to disengage, heal up, and then look to force it once again.
Well, Panthera, for the first time this game, have actually got the gold lead, even though they're down on kills still. We go to the graphs. I just want to see the experience difference here. And it's only 1,000 in favor of Panthera now. But Fear No Evil on Twig is going to force his purification. He's still under pressure from Adapting, who is fully committed there and used everything. But he gets out anyway because the wall from Twig and MANALIKE just didn't combine well enough.
And now that Dimi's back in this fight, he's going to be able to heal up. And now iRaffer here trying to force something. Twig has no beads.
So he has to ult, and instead MANALIKE going to eat a lot of poke attacks. Game of varieties here, trapping iRaffer in an awkward spot. Twig dunks in and forces Adapting away, which means iRaffer will fall. Dimi tries to zone out and create something for his team as Variety is looking to Yammyn, forcing him back with the chop blocks.
He's just beating him down right now. Yammyn will be able to portal away, but Dimi doing his best job to try and peel for his mid laner.
I don't think this is a good idea. Go for a ricochet and call it.
He hit two people with it. Got to give him credit there. But look at this. I mean, he's just been controlling Ataraxia all game. You can see a 700 gold lead right now for him directly over his opposing Hunter. Has Ataraxia's tower getting pushed back really far ahead right now.
Hoyi's a specialist in 1v1 though. I wouldn't say the same thing about Ataraxia's Jing at all. Jing is a very good team fighter. The mobility is good for getting in and out of fights, but not the same level that a Hoyi can put on the board against in a 1v1 straight up.
Variety needs to be careful. He's able to steal away the blue buff here, but he's by himself. Twig was in lane looking to help him in a beautiful wall. Adapting was jumping for that one.
Still relatively even here. iRaffer in the mid lane again, trying to cause issues for Hungry for More. But they've had answers most of the time to every time iRaffer's initiated.
I mean, look what iRaffer's building into as well. He's gone for the tank boots, but immediately after that, he's gone into the breastplate of Valor. So he doesn't have a massive health pool, and we've seen that, right? The second he gets CC'd once, Hungry for More jump on him, and he's so far behind in levels to most of these players.
That's so nice from emilitoo. But he's still going. Oh, he shouldn't do this. No, he's overdoing it. He's going to force the teleport, and he's in trouble. Adapting's there, though, to pick up the kill for him. And Variety got hit by the Fear No Evil as he teleported through, so he couldn't even get in. Adapting's position in there, whether he meant it or not, was perfect.
And Yammyn getting aggressed on here as MANALIKE, instead of rotating over, is just trying to keep this mid lane stale. He doesn't want Panthera to find a mid tower here, but look at this, emilitoo still pressuring on that left-hand side there.
And Yammyn's now going to rotate over to right to help defend it with Dimi. emilitoo looking for the tier 1 tower.
emilitoo needs to be careful. I think he can get bird bombed to death.
He's got to be very careful.
It's going to be close.
I mean, he's overly aggressive all the time, is emilitoo. That's one thing he's going to be very careful of. I thought he overdid it a little bit, but Yammyn does pick up the kill on MANALIKE in mid lane there.
I'm not sure if Adapting helped with that. That might have just been MANALIKE getting soloed, but Hungry for More looking a little bit sloppy here in these recent engagements.
Well, it's the teleport to the tier 2 tower. Ataraxia's been pressured by emilitoo the whole game, forcing him behind his tier 1 tower, trying to deny him as much minions. Oh, the snipe was great on iRaffer, and he's the only one really being punished this game. Oh, that heal tick was not enough.
22 health, I think, there on iRaffer.
That's the first time that shell
any
worked.
extra little bit of damage there, and he would have fallen, but somehow managing to escape. In the meantime, we saw Variety trying to defend that left tower, but because of that, Dimi's just been able to free farm, and he's going to be able to get a tower of his own unless Variety can get back to lane fast enough, and I don't think that's going to be able to happen.
This is just Panthera now just pushing Hungry for More around the map, making them answer the questions that Panthera is asking. Instead of like watching Hungry for More try and initiate this with the Thor, they're just getting pulled around, and by that they're going to lose the tier 1 tower on the right hand side any moment. It's only 1 or 2. Oh, he's going to die to that one big nerf. That's
the best minion I've ever seen. Just 1v1 to tower. He was the last man standing. Took him out.
They take that. Gold Fury is respawning again, though, just in 5 seconds. You can see it hovering in the air, and Ataraxia's just placed the ward, so Hungry for More have Gold Fury control. They lost the last one based off a ricochet from me from
This is going to be the test for Hunger for More, because they were able to sneak away the first one from Panthera, but heading into the 17th minute, this is where Panthera turns it on. We always talk about like that 12 to 18 minute mark, the 12 to 20 minute mark. Panthera will win fights and then just snowball from there. Hunger for More cannot lose this engagement because Panthera will not let their foot off the gas if they get a lead.
And Raffer's going to notice it straight away. Just going to walk in and show his presence. Will Hunger for More back away? Well, Twig took a lot of free poke, but they do have to sustain a prime as a chain connects. The double tap does as well from Twig. Through space and time goes off from Yammyn, and there's the ultimate from Raffer. Twigs goes to the skies. MANALIKE dunks in, trying to keep him busy. Drunkenness onto 3. On the meanwhile, emilitoo picks up Prime, and they're also looking for Twig, forcing him out of the fight.
Look at this, MANALIKE in the back, trying to keep all of Panthera's carries busy, but it doesn't matter. Still 3v1, nothing the Bacchus can do, and Hunger for More just getting decimated. I mean, just one at a time. The team fight split, and it was just so unfortunate for them. Panthera, they're going to find, excuse me, only 2 more kills.
They're confusing the comms, and I think that's one thing Panthera do a lot. They confuse the enemy comms by what they're doing. They switch targets very quickly. They go for the back line and then switch off the back line to a front line if someone's free. And I think a lot of the comms that comes out from teams is like, guys, I'm in trouble. Guys, I'm in trouble too. Guys, no, I'm in trouble. And now emilitoo, he's in trouble.
He's going to die here. Just one more hit. Ataraxia finishes him off. Tier 1 falls, but Raffer still pressing forward. They do have Dimi, who's going to be able to heal everyone up, and Panthera, they're going to take their victory, back off, spin their gold.
And that's where emilitoo can struggle sometimes with a little bit of over-aggression.
We've seen a lot of aggression from him this game.
Well, to be fair, he does that most games.
I feel like Panthera have let him off the leash a little bit ever since they secured first. They're like, all right, emilitoo, you can just, I mean, be for real, but, I mean, you could make some flashy plays.
I actually think him and Moex could be brothers for the fact that they just want to fight. They just want to fight.
I'm trying to think. There was another player I was thinking. Jermaine's like that too.
Yeah, I can see
a little bit. They just all the time, like
just EU hunters in general, pretty much. One tower's going to fall in response, though, from Hungry for More. They're going to answer back a little bit. In the jungle, though, they do have Yammyn in an awkward position, and they position him away from the wall, so he can't get a portal away. But Yammyn is still alive, and he will get out the shell, and bolster defense has helped him. Twig's had enough, though, and so has Ataraxia, as he will pick up Yammyn. This fight could be good for them, but Twig misses the dunk.
Oh, the snipe, though, onto adapting one hit. Variety hits the last tick, I believe, with the blue stone pendant, and Hunger for More. They find 2 kills, and they're looking to fight still. emilitoo ricochets down. PrettyPriMe going to be able to keep the team healthy there with the heal. And now 3 players on Panthera left to defend, but this could be dangerous for them.
The shell has been popped, and there's the Fire Sun's coming out from emilitoo. Good defense, and MANALIKE body blocked to death by Raffer.
Absolutely perfect body blocks from Raffer. emilitoo connects with the last couple autos and locked under tower. Nothing he could do about it. Healing coming through once again. Variety gonna get some damage off onto emilitoo, and there comes the hammer from Twig.
Oh, but there's a return damage from emilitoo, and Dimi, he gets shredded due to the Tallow Assault as well, just bursting through. Panthera turn a 4v3 in their favor.
And Panthera, I mean, what a team, right? Everyone else is just gonna lose, right? It's not only a 5v3, but the five have a raw, so they can engage in a poke war, win, and then just heal back up to full.
But like you said, and like we've been saying all season, the gap is closing on the world champions. The other teams are picking pace up over and over again. They're learning from these games that they play against Panthera.
They're not walking through any team at DreamHack. There's not a single team, I think, that they're just going to be able to come out and destroy.
I mean, enemies going again. Oh, 5 shots! Potentially enemies going. 5 giants started up by Panthera, though.
I'm never doubting enemy again.
10-9, 21 minutes in the game at the moment, but they're not going to do the 5 giant. Instead, they're worried about where the position of Hungry for More is. Speed buffs up, and Ataraxia going to drop it to make sure it goes
This is not a massive lead right now that Panthera have. I mean, it's 10-9 in kills. It's only about 3,500 splitting the teams off. That's, you know, a tier 1 item on every single player.
Wall off the mark, but that ricochet wasn't, and Fear No Evil from adapting did connect through space and time. Not going to connect with Twig, though.
I don't think that would have killed Twig.
I don't think it would have either, but it would have poked him a little bit. But the sustain is starting to pay an impact now from PrettyPriMe. Rod of Asclepius is online with Book of Thoth. He has sold his starter item just to get that healing online.
And now the siege is coming out. iRaffer here with emilitoo. Twig gonna find a double tap. Oh, emilitoo's in trouble. Almost annihilated, but the portal for Yammyn was absolutely perfect. He had that place before HFM even went aggressive.
And emilitoo does get out. He's gonna run all the way back to base. But this is a power play for Hungry for More now. They're looking for Raffer, who is now isolated low. But once again, Yammyn to the rescue. Variety following up. The ring is good. Raffer is dead. He will be left alone. The Suns will drop from emilitoo, though. I don't know why emilitoo's stuck, because he just got sniped by Prime for it.
Hungry for more, finds 2 more kills. Yammyn doing the best possible thing. I mean, Yammyn played it perfectly, portaling out 2 members, but Variety with that cage able to lock down iRaffer, and then emilitoo standing, trying to protect, and just gets lined up by Prime, and now adapting coming in. Variety chasing him deep into the jungle, while Twig takes to the sky. Who's he looking for? Who's the target?
Just go for the Fire Giant, that should be the call. Keep them busy. Yammyn disengages as well. No ultimates available from Panthera. Fire Giant should go to the Hungry for More, but it's taken him a long time. They've taken a lot of free damage from this too.
Someone's
is adapting. Hungry for More, get the goal. Fire Giant, sorry, but can they win the fight now?
You can see the portals being taken as Panthera are trying to retreat here, and it looks like HFM, they're just going to play it safe. Don't get ahead of themselves. They have the Fire Giant, they have the kill lead. Gold still in Panthera's favor, but at only 2,023 minutes in, it doesn't matter.
That was just too close to call. And what happened?
I thought they were going to stay. With that Fear No Evil went off, I thought it was stolen.
And the reason that whole thing happened with the Fire Giant being able to be done by Hungry for More was emilitoo tried to help out iRaffer with the Suns and got hit by Prime Snipe. If that didn't happen, emilitoo would have been back to defend.
He got hit by the Intoxicate and the raw Snipe at the exact same time. And now Hungry for More, I mean, we talked about it. I was like, Hungry for More could definitely take a game off Panthera. I completely believe that. But if they lose game 1, that's it. I don't think they're going to have the momentum heading into game 2. This tells me a lot, right? Not only the fact that the team can compete against Panthera, but that they're not getting in their own heads.
And the funny thing is when you play against Panthera, you're kind of expected not to win anyway, so you don't go in with any, expectations most of the time. You're like, okay, cool. Well, Cringe Crew have done it. Paradigm have done it this year. Let's try and be one of those teams that do it. But, if it doesn't go well, it's fine. We're still in the running for DreamHack.
Chicken has started right-hand side. You can see Panthera, they're just going to be split pushing this tier 2, and Hungry for More splitting their minds, it seems.
This is something Panthera always do when they fall behind a little bit or lose a Fire Giant. They go for the split push and try and shred.
Oh, Variety jumped.
From on the back, and now Variety's dead.
Why did he jump?
Alone here. He will have to ring though and be able to walk away if he's lucky. But no, the stun from Dimi was
perfect.
Wow, beautiful. And emilitoo leaps in to secure a kill. 1 Fire Giant member down in Variety. Tier 2 tower will fall on the right. Meanwhile, Hungry for More will get a tier 2 on the left. But this is something Panthera do very, very well when they lose a Fire Giant.
They saw Raw as well, so they can choose to defend their own Phoenixes or look to try and play Chicken, and it seems like it's going to be a split.
And the Chicken game is going to go in their favor.
This is great for Panthera. Absolutely perfect.
They are so good at this.
They trade out towers and they get a kill.
They are so good at that. Whenever they fall down, they're like, right, split push time, boys. Let's just all try and farm and try and split push towers and force them to come to us.
That was unfortunate for Variety, though. So he actually jumps without having vision on adapting. That's when adapting jumps over the wall. I believe he only saw 1 member and didn't expect the rest of Panthera there. I think Variety assumed they had back to defend their Phoenix and that they weren't just, like, baiting. And that was so intelligent from Panthera. I don't know if they planned that, but they pressed the minions into the tower, then they backed off into the jungle, and they waited, and then they came out once they saw Variety coming to defend.
Credit to Dimi again that cavalry charge was on point. If he didn't immediately dismount and stun him, we would have seen the escape coming out from Variety there. But the stun inside the ring allowed them to close the gap and emilitoo to get in position. But now they're going to have to defend mid lane here. Tier 2 towers available. Variety's around the back here. I don't think they all recognize it. They will now as iRaffer throws out a chain on him. Variety going to reset towards his team. He does have Blink available as well, remember.
This is going to be hard for HFM to break Panthera. They are not going to give up this tower for free.
I mean, they've got a couple of targets for Variety to ring in here. They've got the Odin, so they've got the Guan. Even Yammyn, if he can get away from the wall, and iRaffer too. Snipe goes off, Snipe connects, but only with iRaffer.
Just tickles him. He's fine. PrettyPriMe here doesn't really have CDR, so I mean that Snipe's still not going to come up for a bit. But Variety deep into the tower, found 2 cage, but he's tanking a lot.
And this is a bit of a mistake from Hungry for More. He's a little bit overcommitted because Panthera are fine now. Twig going to take to the sky. iRaffer pushing forward, looking for the no escape. Going to find 3. And immediately everyone disengages. And iRaffer's going to get blown up. But the bolster defenses is good for a moment. Variety leaps in again. No ring available. The slow does connect. Everyone's still standing in. But power play to Hungry for More because they have Ra.
It's a battle of the healing. Guan Yu doing his best job at trying to heal as well. And Panthera, I think they're going to have to concede this tower. They agree. They back off. And Hungry for More is starting to chip away at Panthera. Can we see healing done here? I want to see the difference. 11,000 by Dimi, 18,000 by Prime.
Sorry, Phoenix has been starting in the mid lane here. MANALIKE is zoning adapts in the moment. iRaffer's back. iRaffer goes in with adapting too. They're looking for a pick. They're looking for Variety. Variety's going to ring him and walk away. Good play from him, but he walks straight into Dimi. And Dimi's still trying to pick up the kill. A lot of commitment onto Variety, but where's the comeback from the team of Hungry for More.
I mean, HFM, they just need to decide if they want to
He's
engage
still
instead. It's going to be the heal from Prime to keep everyone healthy. Into the back line, though, adapting, trying to isolate Ataraxia, and emilitoo going to take out MANALIKE in the front. Look at this, adapting, jumps forward into 3. He beats the slow, but he's a little bit worried, and the snipe from Prime connects.
Twig and Prime played that.
Not again! Not again!
Space and time, and Ataraxia gonna get deleted one more time. Now they're looking for the tier 2 time mid lane. No, they're not. They're looking for CaptainTwig as well. He will fall down. Double kill to Yammyn. Tier 2 tower in mid lane comes back again.
Absolutely absurd. The snipe from Prime on point against adapting, and then right after that, Yammyn just lines up Ataraxia deep into his own jungle. Panthera hold against the Fire Giant push, get a tower of their own as well.
It was weird that because we saw Variety get caught out, managed to escape back to safety, and I didn't see much coming out from Hungry for More in terms of, well, trying to re-commit, because everyone was...
They all backed off. They were playing defensive.
They were all piling onto Variety. Why not just go aggressive on the backline when they're all looking for Variety the whole time?
I agree with that, but unfortunately for them, they felt like that wasn't the play to make, and they paid for it. Honestly, adapting, jumps to the back once again, just isolates out a couple members. I don't even think he had ult there at that time. I mean, he only has 25% CDR, so I imagine he doesn't if it's up already. And Panthera still very strong. I mean, they are the world champions. Hungry for More. This is an expected loss, and it's not surprising. And look at that. I believe that was spectral armor highlighted for iRaffer.
This isn't a bad idea for him because he has got the shell, and the shell he can pop during the team fight when the Odin ring goes down, and it will allow him to just walk out of that ring. So it will kind of stop him being isolated inside that, which I think is a really good call.
I think we've only seen this picked up 2 times in the SPL.
Very rare.
When it was first buffed or changed over to the Ghost Walk, it was Snoopy picked it up because he was getting chain slowed, and he wanted to make sure to get out if he ever got walled or caged in.
Yeah, I think the other one I saw out of Vermana, though.
Who?
I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I saw it of Vermana. I was like, that's not going to work as well as you think it is.
Yeah, it's not. It's always rough when you pick it up at your soul laner because you have the teleport, right? If iRaffer goes aggressive with the blink, right, and then Variety counter cages, he's still going to have that Ghost Walk.
But it can also still pop shell straight afterwards and still do it anyway. So mainly when the ring goes down, you want to pop your shell anyway. 29 minutes in, second Fire Giant has spawned. Hungry for More. They didn't find a Phoenix. They have done well, though, to get to this stage and keep things even. But through space and time fired, they're looking for a pick. All the boys of Panthera, they're not going to find anything other than MANALIKE, who's just walking away. Fear no evil was just
good for
but Twig is in the sky.
He's
going to be a turnaround for Panthera. So for Hungry for More to find anything, the ring is down. So is No Escape. But No Escape's not going to hit anybody and force it. Snipe off the mark from Prime. Wall connects. But now Hungry for More have to disengage again. Everybody missed everything.
I mean, Twig there has not been connecting these Thor ults. We have not seen him do it. We've seen him have great success with this Nemesis in recent weeks, but he played a lot of Thor at the beginning of the split, and he was having the same trouble connecting the ultimates, and these are potentially game-changing ults. Unfortunately, though, Panthera split up and kind of confuse him, and he's not able to secure it.
Well, will we see a forced engagement from either team now? Because they do have the option of no ultimates available. It's Variety will have his up more often than not, sooner rather than later. But Hungry for More controlling the Fire Giant pit now, trying to create a little bit of room. Double tap comes out from Twig, only hitting the single, though, onto adapting.
Now, HFM have control of this Fire Giant pit. They've got the wards as well. Variety looking for it. He does have the cage, and he's got to isolate out iRaffer.
Spectral armor is available, and there's a portal down already. Dimi on the backside, though, will stun out Prime and keep him busy, along with Ataraxia. Ricochet off the mark from emilitoo, but still going in this Dimi. Dimi has very low mana, though, as through space and time gets fired. It connects with Prime, and Prime is deleted, as is Dimi. Adapting credit for the kill on Prime. No sustain available for either side now in this engagement, so it's going to be a bloodbath.
In the sky. Twig has to protect someone. Is he going to come down to adapting, or is he going to be looking for someone else? Yammyn, very low, grouped with iRaffer, and here comes Twig. He misses once again. Adapting jumps the ult, but he hits the double tap on 2 players. MANALIKE finishes off adapting as Variety rotates down. It takes out emilitoo. Yammyn left alive, but he's very low, and Variety says, no way. Double kill for the Odin.
But the problem is, no one can do the Fire Giant. There's no way Odin, CaptainTwig, and MANALIKE can do the Fire Giant in time. They could do the Gold Fury, though, which I think is the right call here. It's going to be an even game still between this. This is crazy how well this game has gone.
I mean, this is just such a phenomenal showing from Hungry for More. This is, even game 1, right? There was a couple mistakes when it came to team fighting, not protecting PrettyPriMe properly. They let their Zeus get dove in the back line, but this time, I mean, we're not really seeing that. I mean, there's mistakes on both ends, but also great setup plays, great executions.
There's a potential here for 3 teams in EU so far this season to prove that Panthera are human.
I mean, Cringe Crew did it, Paradigm doing it's not surprising, right? Cringe Crew was, and Hungry for More, this is going to be another surprise, right? If it happens, it happens. But I mean, last season, they only really lost to Paradigm.
Rapid getting engaged again, wall hits, double tap 2, but with the bolster defenses and all that armor, it's going to be very hard for them to kill him.
but they don't want to use it just
Dimi's
yet.
back,
Variety
though.
instead.
Dimi teleports in,
Dimi.
sees the Fire Giants going on, warns his team. His teammates are on the way. Yammyn does have through space and time, but the Fire Giant is getting low. It's in range for the snipe from Yammyn to connect if they go for it. But will it be here in time? It won't, you know, because the snipe from PrettyPriMe is enough.
iRaffer's got 4. He's got 4. He's going to pull in 2, and Yammyn going to connect the snipes. iRaffer's in trouble here. CaptainTwig whiffs his ult once again, but getting a ton of damage with Berserkers.
But Twig did get hit by the Unstable Vortex that he walked into. Emilitoo in trouble on the back here, but it's only MANALIKE that's up against him. The wall is good again from Twig, but once again he gets hit by an Unstable Vortex. Prime is on full health here, and MANALIKE is on 0 health. It's a 1-for-1 support for support, but hungry for more. They have the Fire Giant.
Once again, somehow coming out on top, 17-17 in kills. I mean, we're 32 minutes into this match. It is, no one has a clear line to victory right now.
Not at all. Not at all. This could be anyone's game right now. I'd still give it favor to Panthera just because they've done this sort of stuff before and come back in the way they fight. But I tell you something, Hungry for More are playing this very well at this stage of the game.
And now here, they're going to be sieging up the last tower on the right-hand side. You can see the Divine Rune coming out from iRaffer.
He's had that for a very long time. He's had that since rolling the start of the game, really.
And he's got Pestilence as well. I mean, he is getting a lot of players with his ultimate. Searing Flesh as well, you can connect onto multiple members, and that it's just very useful. We've already seen the healing on Prime. Let's take a quick look back at it again. It was at 18,000 last time they were sieging a Phoenix. Now at 27,000. Highest damage on the board right now,
so
22.
More than anyone on the team. Actually has done more healing than iRaffer and Dimi have done damage. That's insane.
They're feeders, that's why.
They're not feeders. To be fair, speaking about it, Dimi's been very, very low on that damage chart since the start of the game. He got off to a flying one this game.
You can see he's
but
switched
since then, he's been focused a little bit. The Odin's pinged him in a couple of times, and he's become a heal bot now, which is kind of his role.
He's got 15,000. He's just simply not as strong as Raw. However, he's a little bit better in combat because he can be the mobile heal, right? You don't have to sit and you know, be there in kind of this like free target inside of the Solar Blessing.
Completely true, because like defensive healing is definitely Dimi's job, but offensive healing is definitely a Raw job if you have the opportunity, because you don't want to have to sit in the ring if you can help it. But on sieges, Raw shines more than anyone, because you wait for a wave, you push in, you poke them, you heal up, you do it again, over and over. And with the Fire Giant on all 5 members, they're looking for this left-hand Phoenix to do exactly that.
The biggest problem right now is their hard engage, because if Bacchus jumps in or Variety jumps in, we've just seen Adapting waste no time, right? He's always looking for Ataraxia and PrettyPriMe with the help of emilitoo. And it's kind of been this arms race, like who can carry the opponent, who can kill the opponent's carries first.
I don't think they're worried about Ataraxia here. They're all about Prime. Prime is the focus target, but Prime, again, he's having a great season in mid. There's the no escape coming out from iRaffer, pulls in MANALIKE. Twig takes to the sky. But will he disengage? He will, you know. They're going to reset to the heals, which is smart, and try and draw Panthera away from their Phoenix.
Panthera there burned 2 ultimates through space and time, and the no escape. A couple ults for HFM as well. No ult for Twig, but he hasn't been connecting them either way, so it's not that big of a loss. But the raw snipe being used in place of purification there could be deadly.
I think we could be heading back to a healing meta, you know, because if you look at Hungry for More's player damage this game, it's lower than Panthera's, but they're ahead in this game right now based off the fact they've got sustain. Surprising.
And now here, Hunger for More surging forward. They've still got Fire Giant for 46 seconds, so they need to make their move now. If they wait any longer, they're going to lose that buff and have to disengage.
Well, they're waiting for the next minion wave to come in one more time. It's a little bit of a way away, though, so just, like you said, wasting this Fire Giant slowly but surely, and this is fine by Panthera, but Variety did get the ring off onto Yammyn, but Yammyn goes through the portal and he's going to walk away. Instead, it's Twig being focused down a little bit then, has to ult again defensively. He took a lot of pokes, so he will have to return all the way back to the backside again for the heals from Prime.
Oh,
but look at this, Adapting going in, looking for Variety. They want the pick on their man. Can they find it? The shields is up, the snipe was not good, but MANALIKE's Intoxicate was even better. Shell comes out from Panthera. They're all very low though, and the sustain is working for Hungry for More.
And now Panthera forced back to base. iRaffer still standing strong by himself. But I mean, look at the health pools of Hunger for More. They're going to be able to heal up. However, their Fire Giant, it just fell off in Panthera. They only lose Dimi, and now it's going to be 5v4. They don't have a Fire Giant to worry about, and they're going to be full health. I mean, CaptainTwig and MANALIKE are already poked out.
iRaffer does have his ult available. He doesn't have Blink though, so just keep an eye on him. He's polished to the defenses. The Phoenix is getting lower and lower, but he still stands for a moment now.
Ataraxia doesn't have purification.
Phoenix
he's getting pulled.
Falls, no escape, pulled in. No, he uses the ultimate to escape from the airstrike, but the ring is there from Variety. iRaffer's trapped and alone. No spectral armor this time, big boy. You're in trouble. iRaffer's going to fall.
And now Variety finds another pick in the jungle, and HFM, it looks like they're disengaging, but Yammyn finds Twig going a little bit too deep there, and
emilitoo hit the ricochet and stunned him as he was trying to jump to his hammer away. And now emilitoo going to try and give chase. He's got ricochets up now, so watch for the triples. If he can find him, he could kill
they are in
someone.
the jungle. He could jump forward, and that is a very emilitoo-like play. He has Yammyn to bail him out if he wants to, and he's going for it. He wants this combo potential, looking for MANALIKE, and he does hit the double tap for Variety, jumps forward, making sure emilitoo can't dive too deep into this one, still chasing him down. Here comes adapting with the help of Yammyn, and the team's looking at MANALIKE here. I don't see how he's going to get out. There comes the snipe, just off the mark.
Finn, Weevil connects though, and they get a good damage after the Saber Vortex, but Ataraxia annihilates adapting, and now Yammyn's going to get out, but emilitoo's still going in. He's in the ring of doom. He's got some support from Dimi, but he won't get any healing. emilitoo will fall to Variety now as well. Panthera looks to try and turn it around from over-aggression from Hungry for More, but instead they just find more lasses. Yammyn?
No, the person he could have killed already back there. Would have just put a little bit of poke into Variety, but Variety makes it back to base, and now the builds are starting to be completed here. Everything's sold. Twig, he's going to sell, he sold something, I'm not sure. He finished off Shifter Shield, and he's going to go into another hammer, probably Titan's Bane. So a lot of penetration online for Twig. A little bit of tankiness as well with Shifters and Void.
Good position for Hungry for More to be in right now. The Fire Giant has respawned again. They're going to head over. There's 34 seconds and 20 seconds on adapting and emilitoo respectively, which means this should be relatively free unless Yammyn has his ultimate, and Yammyn can get there, but at the moment his ult's down. I don't know how long for though.
This is, I think Panthera are going to concede this. They don't want to risk fighting an awkward numbers engagement, because if they lose a fight trying to defend the Fire Giant, they're probably going to lose the game, because HFM are going to be able to just walk straight into their base, and they're going to concede it. They know that they can hold against the Fire Giant push. They did it just shortly ago. They did lose a Phoenix there, but it was very hard for HFM to secure it. And Spear of Desolation being worked on right now. Can we see how much gold in hand does PrettyPriMe have? Because that is a massive boost in power.
It is a boost in power if you can find it. And a little bit of penetration
700,
too.
so still a ways away.
We've also got Executioner just finished by emilitoo. He sold his golden bow for the Executioner, extra penetration for him on the target. It's got a little bit of crit with the Malice in there. Nothing other than that though. Meanwhile, Ataraxia gone for the Blood Shuriken of Doom, along with the Deathbringer just been finished now as well. Keeping hold of that golden bow. No Fatalis in this build.
This is anyone's game at this point. Panthera World Champions, they've dropped 3 regular season games in the past almost year. This could be their 4th here up against HFM, who started off 1-7 at the beginning of this. This is a team that we thought was just going to be in the gutter.
They were bottom of the league.
They were hungry for losses, not hungry for more, and they have just the past couple weeks 9-game winning streak. They've been, I think, what is that, 13-3 since their rough start.
When you find the jigsaw piece that's missing to the puzzle and you place it in, it feels good, man. And that's what Hungry for More have done. They found it. They've managed to create a unit of a team that are all on the same page. They all want to win. They all are looking for success, but they've just struggled to find it.
And they could be taking a game off the World Champions here. Fire Giant in hand for another minute and a half, 2.5 minutes, and they're going to start to siege up this final couple Phoenixes. Left-hand side has not respawned yet, so those are Fire minions still pouring in. And Panthera, they're mounting their defense right now. They have 4 members all grouped in between both Phoenixes, so they're not dedicating to a single side. And iRaffer just forcing out some abilities.
Space and time is a little bit off the mark there, but Twig is focused again and takes a lot of poke pressure. He will not die, but Prime might. He's in his heel. Ring around the roses. 1,000 crit to your face poses from adapting, but Twig does annihilate him back, and now Dimi's in trouble too.
Where was Variety that fight?
Ataraxia. Phoenix on the left is going to go down. Variety is under pressure, being forced away as Ataraxia gets a double kill. The crit monster, Jing is in the house, but emilitoo denies the triple.
Oh my word, a 3 for 2 in favor of Hungry for War, but Panthera still mounts their defense. I think Variety was trying to siege or 1v1 Dimi in the mid lane. Is that what happened? But that, I mean, that was still really well executed. iRaffer goes in, burns a couple ultimates and Purification, and then what we saw after that was Yammyn and Adapting combined. The ultimate through space of time goes immediately to the backline. They focus out Prime. Hungry for More wanted to play siege game. They wanted to just poke and then heal up with Raw, but Panthera focusing out Prime was fine.
They've got 3 tanks to bring down this Phoenix here. They've only got 2 damage dealers from Panthera. They can't really contest this because they're just too tanky. Hungry for More's front line here. The stun on emilitoo is going to force him back. Meanwhile, the left-hand Phoenix did fall early while that game was going on, and now Yammyn, he gets 1v1'd by Variety.
right now. Variety 7, 1, and 16. Definitely the player that's been making the most impact for Hunger for More. His cages have been amazing, and right there, just able to solo out Yammyn as he was chasing him through the lane. I mean, a Janus. Locking down a Janus is one of the hardest things to do in the game, even as an Odin, right? Because you need to place your cage absolutely perfectly so it's not touching any wall that he can portal out of.
I think at the moment, my tier list of solo laners in EU, well, it might be changing this season if he keeps going this way.
I mean, Dimi did get soloed by Variety. Are you seeing a switch up?
I still think Dimi will be number one in the world for sure, but I think Variety's climbing his way up to the highest level. I don't think Maniac's had a great season so far. He's probably above Maniac right now. Zalia's been so-so at times, so, you know, when you look at the solo laners, he's getting around there. He's getting around there. But to be fair, I've never been on the Anne Robinson hype train about Variety for a long time. Like, maybe Season 2 I was, Season 1, but not as much as other people.
42 minutes in right now, and Hungry for More, they are sieging up their last Phoenix here. Fire Giant is off the remaining members in 3 seconds.
Goodbye, Dimi. You will be missed, as will the horse as it goes to the dog food factory. The Phoenix is being sieged now by Hungry for More. Again, they're not even looking at the Fire Giants. It's not available yet, but blinking from iRaffer and adapting. They're looking for Prime, and they're going to find Prime because there was no peel for him. Ataraxia has to disengage as well through space and time, though. Hit onto CaptainTwig from a million miles away, and now Variety's in trouble being chased down. emilitoo hits the ricochet, and Panthera hold.
It's absolutely absurd how good Panthera are. Ataraxia going to escape into the jungle. Skipping away, MANALIKE managed to escape too, but that Titan right now on about 30 to 40% life. Okay, about 50 after it's healed up a little bit.
They can do Fire Giant though. They can do Fire Giant here, Panthera, and hold the game.
I mean, that's risky. Trying to do Fire Giant there, because if 1 or 2 people get picked trying to do it, Hunger for More, they've got 2 Phoenixes. They don't need to worry about the Titan solo. They can just all in.
Realistically, they could leave Yammyn on defense, right? Send the other 3 members to go to Fire Giant, and then get Yammyn to ult it when they call for it, and he'll snipe and secure. That's what you could do.
You're going to secure the Fire Giant with a Yammyn ult from halfway across the map.
Yeah. These guys practice so much they could execute that.
I bet you they could.
I bet you they could.
I bet you they've practiced it before
I bet they have. Like, Yammyn, can you time this right? No, this is too risky. Let's not do that in the game. But honestly, they could try that.
I mean, now they're not going to. There's no wards on it. We saw Ataraxia looking around Fire Giant, just making sure Panthera weren't trying anything sneaky like that.
It's another 3 fights for Panthera. This next fight, they have to wipe Hungry for More again.
He still has the golden bow. That's a little bit surprising to me, that Ataraxia.
He likes to spray.
He's valuing the movement speed.
And the crit. The crit is going to play off the golden bow. Because you got Deathbringer.
And now here...
Does that not work? You're shaking your head at me. Don't just do that.
No, I thought you meant like crit was still on golden bow.
I'm not saying he's got crit, but I'm saying he's got Deathbringer, and the spread from golden bow on a big team fight will crit multiple people.
Yeah, I thought you were saying there was crit on golden bow.
No,
I was so worried.
No, Adonis, I wasn't.
So I'm not Explosive bolts will crit in an AoE.
You're probably going to say it's got protections on it or something.
Explosive bolts will crit in the AoE here.
Yes, it
Fire
does.
Giant going to be started up by HFM. They still have the advantage. They've had the momentum for most of the game. Gold means nothing now, 45 minutes into the game.
They're going to
Kills
contest.
mean nothing.
They're going to contest. Panthera looking at contesting this. The 3 spaces. Ataraxia, less than half health. Adapting goes straight for him. Deletes that one. Prime is now under pressure from adapting with emilitoo, but Twig dunks in and finds the kill onto emilitoo. The horse is here from Dimi, and that allows double kill for adapting onto Prime. Still the fight rages, but it looks like Panthera are winning this. Triple kill for adapting. Variety is now the next one under the cosh.
He's going to be chased out as well. Only 2 left alive for HFM. Variety going to jump over the wall. MANALIKE takes out Yammyn, who is caught by himself as well. And so a nice return kill for HFM, taking out 2, which means Panthera are not going to be able to do much. You can see the Phoenixes have respawned, and I think Variety wants to finish these off. You can see he's sneaking up. There is a sentry ward on that left-hand side, so adapting will see this coming. And Variety, he's not full health. He's only about 60%. This is risky.
That Phoenix is very low, though.
They know he's here.
2 players here. He's starting it, and he's changed his mind. Good call for Variety to realize he's... No, maybe he's not. Not a good call.
I think Epsilon are baiting this, too. They want him to look for these Phoenixes.
Well, he might get caught here, because Blink isn't available, luckily, from iRaffer. If iRaffer would have found that chain, they'd spend lights out for Variety. He still wants to hold here and to put some pressure on. But like I said, Panthera need to win 3 team fights. The first one was earlier than I expected. They denied the first Fire Giant.
I mean, the big thing is they're not really winning these fights. I mean, they're going dead even for the most part.
But the big thing there was they got both their Phoenixes back up.
It's true.
Both Phoenixes survive, all 5 minions down. They can now look at the Fire Giant again this time round, and if they win that fight, well, the game could flip on its head.
Soul Reaver picked up by MANALIKE there. He's pretty tanky with the rest of his items, so he doesn't really need to survive any extra burst. And if Panthera are focusing out MANALIKE, it's probably a mistake on their part. The biggest problem right now Hunger for More having is keeping Prime alive.
Keeping Prime.
You can see, oh no, he's actually I'm not sure what item he sold, but he has a Mantle of Discord now, and we've seen this pressure come onto him because what happens is Panthera, they soft engage with iRaffer. He's just trying to bait someone to jump on him or the team to focus him out. They always burn PrettyPrime's ult because he doesn't want to waste his purifications, and then Yammyn snipes him on the back line, and then Adapting just takes that portal and finishes them off.
Did I just read 48,000 or 38,000 healing coming out from PrettyPriMe?
38.
38,000.
That's still a lot.
Wow.
Let's take a look at damage done here before the Fire Giant starts up here. No one even... So, emilitoo outputting about the same amount of damage.
Pretty much, so he's just negating that. Fire Giant started. emilitoo going to find the Ricochet onto 2, but Variety had the shield up. MANALIKE taking a lot of poke from those chains.
Look at
Third chain hits, Fear No Evil as well. They really committed heavily on MANALIKE. Through space and time. Not going to find the target they're looking for, but the Unstable Vortex does. Still not enough for a kill. Variety looking for Yammyn, trying to chase the boys down to Panthera, but they lead Variety into a bad situation. MANALIKE, though, deletes Adapting. Didn't see that one coming, and now emilitoo trapped in the ring. He's in an awkward position. Variety looking for him, but Raffer will no escape to keep him alive. Still, though, emilitoo does fall, and now Raffer in pressure from Variety again. Ataraxia
MANALIKE still
gets
alive?
the kill.
He's still alive and juking out the Tallow Assault. Dimi can't find the connection, and he's going to be chased down by Variety. Slowed down, Ataraxia comes up with the double. It's only Yammyn left alive. There's still all 3 Phoenixes up, but this could be it for Hungry for More. They could split with the World Champions right now.
They looks like they may do. The surrender vote has begun from Panthera, and Hungry for More recognize they don't need the Fire Giant with only Yammyn standing for at least another 40 seconds. They can end here.
50 seconds on Raffer, 45 on emilitoo, 35 on Adapting, and 53 on Dimi. Hungry for more. They're going to take out this middle Phoenix here. They're going to poke Yammyn out. They don't even want to waste time. There is no hesitation from this team. They want to take this out.
Yammyn did delete MANALIKE, though, because MANALIKE was very stupid. I'm just going to point that out there, then. He just burped in Yammyn's face, and he went, you what, mate? Ring goes down on Yammyn, though. Variety keeping that on him. Yammyn does manage to escape back, but the Titan under pressure again. Yammyn gets a double kill. Can Yammyn hold this? Triple kill for Yammyn. I'm counting that MANALIKE one, but Ataraxia will clean it up for
Adapting
the
in 1 second.
Ataraxia, one more
Adapting
hit.
in 1 second. 3,000 on the Titan, and he's pulled away from it. Can't even get airstrike off it. And Panthera hold. I've never seen a team throw harder than right there. Maybe outside of Cloud9 at Season 1 Regionals. MANALIKE just takes, he just walks in the face of Yammyn, gets hit. Variety cages him at his own fountain, so just gets deleted.
Panthera, what do you do now? Fire Giant or Phoenix?
I mean, you can't, it's no point on Fire Giant. It looks like they're looking to end. 40 seconds on Variety, 39 on CaptainTwig. I mean,
it's only Prime.
MANALIKE is the closest in 20 seconds.
Okay.
It's Prime.
Yammyn just did it. Prime, show how good you are now. You're going to take on Panthera. 4 members for yourself to have to deal with.
There goes the snipe. He was trying to all-in Adapting there. I think that would have finished him off. Adapting doesn't really have any magical protections. And now it's going to be the middle Phoenix here. The question is Panthera going to take the risk? Because if they can't do it now, they're guaranteed to. This could be a CC versus Paradigm again.
The cavalry charges here. MANALIKE's here. The flames from the suns are raining down from Panthera. The Intoxicate is good. The Titan is still standing. The heals are coming through from Hungry for More. Still the Titan holds. 2 members dead. 3 members dead. The 4th member is looking to die too. Dimi is going to fall. The ring. All members of Panthera die. Hungry for More hold the game again.
Triple kill coming out from Prime. No way Panthera can hold again. Still 60 seconds across the board. Yammyn, I don't think he's going to be able to do it for a second time right now.
Space and time. Space and time. Oh, he's going to go for the back door. You see the pings. You see the pings.
Variety knows. Variety knows something is happening. Well, he's not going to be able to get to it in time. He's starting to back. He's starting to back.
Can he get back into... Oh, the minion blocks him. Yammyn, no. Yammyn really wants this. He does have Soul Reaver too. When he sees Odin, though, it's going to be a bad time. Yammyn looking for the end. He gets one or stable Vortex off. He's counting around Variety. He's in a corner. But meanwhile, Hungry for More find the turnaround and make it a 1-1.
Spamming the taunts.
You what?
Hungry for More.
That was the weirdest end I've seen in a while.
Tried their hardest to throw that match, but PrettyPriMe manages to copy exactly what Yammyn does, holds with the rest of his team, MANALIKE coming in there in the clutch as well, and that back and forth, that was very reminiscent of Cringe Crew when they faced off against Paradigm, where we saw the back and forth throws, where everyone tried to all in. Panthera looking for their last-ditch effort, however, everyone comes up big.
The Titan for Hungry for More probably would have died a little bit quicker because obviously there was still a tier 2 tower left up on the left-hand side for Panthera to still take. So obviously with Titan, the less towers on the map, the more defense.
Yeah, there was 2,000 health. I think each tower, I can't
remember the exact numbers, but it still influences. I should know that one. 1-1. Panthera defeated again. Well, not defeated, they split.
That was still an incredible match. We saw
fantastic.
Panthera just how well they play, even from behind. When Panthera doesn't have the momentum, how well they could play from behind.
Yep.
You could see doing stuff no other team does. Their idea was iRaffer soft engages. Then they send Yammyn adapting to the back line. Let's eliminate Prime because he's our problem target. Even if we pay with 1 life, whether it be iRaffer or adapting because those 2 players went deep, at the very least we take out the person who's allowing Hunger for More to run their siege composition variety as well. Not only soloing out Dimi there, looking over at Hunger for More's side early in the game, but heading into late game, his cages were so perfect, right? He didn't use them at the beginning of the fight. He typically waited until the middle when players had their escapes down, and Hunger for More were able to chip away at the world champs.
Absolutely amazing set. And with that now, Hunger for More going to climb to 15 and 11, which with 1 more game for them to go against Leftovers, they kind of hold their own future in their hands. If they finally win against Leftovers, that'll put them at the end of the season at 17 wins, which could be the critical turning point of whether you go to DreamHack.
I mean, I don't see how Hunger for More are going to get knocked out of the 3rd spot. Dignitas now need to 2-0 paradigm. They can't just split. If Dig in this next set does not hit that 2-0, then they are done. They're out of contention.
Out of contention. And Dignitas, they've got to deal with that one too. But we do have some plays from that game. Ataraxia had a very good game for himself. To be fair, he was quiet on the Jing early game, but late game, his damage started to come through.
And we just saw this is full build Hunters in great positioning coming out from Ataraxia. The biggest thing that I didn't really take note of at the start was all the CC immune ults coming out from Hunger for More, which is so great into the Ares pick. I don't know how early Ares was drafted up, but this was completely to negate his hard engage.
And now you just see him positioning in the back the whole time. And the only time I actually really saw him in trouble was when he got hit by the through space in time by Yammyn, more than anything than not. And it was just a rough one for that. And there's just the crits coming through once again from the explosive bolts. The extra 25% crit chance paying dividends for
and
the
that was a world-class show from both teams, honestly. Like that was just amazing to watch from both sides. These are the games that I expect to happen at LAN, and for them to happen online in one of the later weeks, it gives me a lot of hope for how competitive DreamHack's going to be.
Well, Hunger for More did well, but we do also have one of the world champions on the line right now. The world champion jungler Adapting is joining us today. Adapting, how you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So talk us through that set. How good are Hunger for More right now, honestly?
Honestly, they are looking really, really strong right now. They are surprisingly good, like from what they were at least.
What do you think changed about them? Was it just picking up MANALIKE, or is there something else? Are all they're just players playing at another level?
I don't know. I guess after the pickup, like their mentality or something changed. Like as soon as they got that win, it's like they got their confidence that they needed. Confident means so much in Smite or in everything really.
All right.
And now that they got it,
all right,
they just seem to be.
Okay, let's about Hunger for More now. Talk to me about your team. You guys secured first seed, I believe it was last week. How are everything's going right now for you guys? Still the world champions, defending, and you're going to be heading to DreamHack. What are your plans?
Well, to win DreamHack, of course.
It's not really
just looking to.
It's not really a trip for you, though, is it, Adapting? Because you live in Sweden, right?
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be a long trip anyway, man.
Oh, is it? Sorry, but I thought you live really close, like Stockholm or something.
Man, I'm taking my bike.
Talk to me about that second game. What was your strategies? I kind of want to get in your head a little bit. What were you looking to do? Was it just to isolate out that Raw in every engagement?
Yeah, I was basically just trying to kill the Raw every single fight, because he was the main problem. Because they had so much sustain with him, especially with him having a Scalpius, whatever it is called. They just had so much healing, and we just had to shut him down.
Now, mentioning healing there as well, Adapting, do you think we could be heading towards a healing meta again? Because we're seeing a lot of Guans, and the rise of Ra seems to be coming back with this Rod of Asclepius again. Do you reckon we're going to see some more healers come out again?
No, I think healers are a bit situational. It could become a thing, like I'm not saying it's not going to be, but I feel like it's mainly situational.
Alright, I understand that one. Well, before we let you go, do you have any shoutouts you want to give Adapting as well? Because once again, good performance from you today. Obviously, Hunger for More did well, but any shoutouts to the fans at home?
Yeah, shoutouts to everyone watching. Hope you all enjoyed this set. Yeah, shoutouts to Allied Strong, thing like that. All the fans, love you all.
Awesome. Thank you.
So much for joining us today, Adapts, and congratulations. You will, I believe they're guaranteed #1, right?
Yeah, they're guaranteed #1.
Guaranteed #1 seed going in, which means they're cursed, which means they won't win.
They're done.
DreamHack.
They're losing.
It's over, but we do
That's
have
what we should
other
ask
teams
them
still to go. Paradigm versus Dignitas is your next setup momentarily. It's going to be a
man,
crazy
we still have
one.
more games?
Yep, and Paradigm versus Dig is a crunch one for Dignitas. They have to find wins here, as do Paradigm, to be honest. Otherwise, they could start to have the gap closed on them, and because Hungry for More are now ahead of them in the standings.
Dig have to 2-0 Paradigm here if they want to stay in that contention for DreamHack here. A single loss means they can't surpass Hungry for More.
Well then.
It's
all exciting. It's not over yet. Day 2 will continue after this short break. Dignitas versus Paradigm.